Okay, so if you were gone on Friday, I'm just going to go over this real quickly about what we did. And so, when everybody came in, we talked about expository non-negotiables because you're going to be writing the expository essay coming up. Um, and I just want to make sure that we're real clear. So, with expository non-negotiables, you have to have your thesis. They're going to be looking for that. They're going to be looking for strong points, and they're going to be looking for related examples, and that you tie it back to your thesis. So, related examples would be that you would have, I don't know, say you're going to use Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King. Okay, they relate to each other. But you want to avoid things like, I don't know, Rosa Parks and Michael Jordan, or Rosa Parks and somebody from One Direction. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you want to have them so they're actually related to one another. Um, just a real quick note. Now, this is for expository writing. You're expected at this point to be writing, high level with, simple things like indenting your paragraphs, um, revising and editing, spelling, capitalization. Those are just good writing, period. Expository is thesis, strong points, and related examples. So I'm not trying to say you shouldn't do those other, fine tunings of writing, but this is specific to expository. Okay, so the point of this is you're going to be doing some brainstorming, and how you get to your thesis and your strong points and your examples, that's really up to you at this point. I mean, you guys have had enough experience with expository writing to know what works for you and what doesn't. An example that we did in class, or that I showed them in class, was this prompt. And so we read it, and then really the prompt comes down to write an essay explaining the effect of one new technology on people's lives. And I want to point out this. This is on every single prompt that you get. But I think sometimes we see it so often that you don't notice it. This is basically your checklist at the end of an essay. So anyway, this is what I showed them. So I chose adult online education. Okay, so that is the topic that I thought would be the way technology can affect people's lives. And so one way you can do it is you can brainstorm your points or your reasons, and then you can write your thesis, and then you come up with examples. So your points might be, oh, well, it's accessible and it's economical. Well, that's true. Well, I don't have any examples quite yet, but those I know are my reasons. So I put them into thesis format, which is because of advancements in technology, online education has made post-secondary learning convenient and economically feasible for many adults. Notice how I start off the sentence. Because. And we did talk in class a little bit about the AWUBIS. Horrible word, horrible acronym, but it stands for the words that you should start off, or you can have some dependent clauses in your thesis statements, and they are posted on my wall. So you can come on and you can see them, but one of them is because. So then I had to come up with some examples, right, for my points. Accessible is working parents with young children. Economical is less fees for travel, books, housing, food, or college dues. Now, if you notice, what am I supposed to do as far as history examples for this? You know what I mean? And or fictional, from a fictional book. It's a little bit tricky, so don't get too hung up on that. The hierarchy of examples would be, if you can find something concrete like from history, do it. Use those examples. That's the best kind. But if you can't, then go to like maybe books and literature. Ideally, the more classical or traditional literature, the better. It looks a little bit more academic than, like, say, Harry Potter. Harry Potter isn't bad, but I mean, maybe Animal Farm would be a little bit stronger, just because it's a more traditional book. We'll just say it that way, or more classical book. And then last resort, go personal, because personal examples often turn into narratives, and that's where people get into some danger. So try to go historical, then fiction or books, and then go personal. Anyway, so these are the examples I came up with. So now, if you don't like it that way, another way you can do is get your examples first, and then you fine tune your points. You come up with your thesis. So maybe you got the examples. That's not a problem. Well, then you got to figure out what are my points going to be, and then you put that in a thesis form. The whole point of my going over this is to show you that, yes, I have shown you different ways of getting to your outline, but really what it comes down to it is you can do it in a lot of different ways, just as long as you do it. I mean, you just have to do it. So Here is the assignment. Now this is a 2-page assignment. This is the first page. I've got the prompts, and then this handout is on Canvas, right next to this. And what you do is you look at the prompt about failure, and then you have to fill in your thesis, your examples, and then the explanation of your examples and how that ties back to the thesis. And then there's a second one right here, and then the explanation. So you're going to do that for all of these. And let me see if I can show you that. So it will look like this. The handout looks like this. So prompt 1, prompt 2, prompt 3, prompt 4. And then these are the prompts right here. So you're going to have to find the actual prompt that you're going to have to be working on, or the essay. Now, these are just samples that I have taken from TEA. You have done a couple of these, which there's no problem going back and reviewing it. So don't get too frustrated if you say, "What? We've done this one." That's okay. No problem. So what I'm going to need you to do is you're going to have to finish this, and then you're going to be writing the essay. So ideally, you have this in before you do the essay. However, if you don't have it in, and you should not do it before, you're still going to have to do it. It's still a very good practice for you for expository prompts. It would just be more beneficial if you have it done before you walk into class on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on which day you have me. All right, if you have any questions, come on in the morning and I'll talk to you soon.